Call in.
Blog Talk Radio.
Here at ACO Radio, American Communications Online, or any affiliated stations or websites are not responsible for what guest hosts or call-ins may say. All programming is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only.
This is Teresa J. Morris, and I will be your co-host today with Ronny Dawson of Texas. I'm in the Panhandle, where we've got quite a ugly thing. If you're watching the weather, it's already raining here in the Panhandle of Florida, where I live, Gulf breeze. So we just hope everybody is okay, and that we're all mourning the loss of George Floyd. I just want to say that it's a time of healing for everybody, and we wish the world well with the changes that will be happening. So thank you for joining us, and we're doing a 3 o'clock today at the request of Ronny Dawson, and I'm going to ask him to come on now from Texas and entertain us for 2 hours. This is a tough time on the planet, and I just asked everybody to be aware that we're all equal as a soul coming down here having the human experience, so we can all evolve in what I call the ascension age and learn the rest of the story to ascend in ways that will allow us to evolve into bigger and better things and places. So I'm big on the human security and the feelings of being human and emotional intelligence and learning what we can. And many of my friends support me. If you'd like to support me in my work here that we all do, you can go to patreon.com, patreon.com, and it's / Teresa J. Morris. That's TheresaJMorris. Now, today we're representing all humans in all universes, and there are many levels. We don't have all the truth in this reality. So Ronny Dawson is sharing some things. Hopefully he gets involved with us on a regular basis because we've enjoyed his voice and his talks, and seeing him grow his part in our ACE Folklife, where we do spoken word about things that are happening, and this, we hope, will be part of our history, are the stories that people tell their children. And he and I were both truck drivers, and so we call this show "You Ain't Gonna Believe This." So Ronny said he would support me, and he does. He even gives me a couple of bucks every month out of his hard-earned paycheck to go towards the support of this station and what we do. So that's what I set up that Patreon for, because it takes a lot of money to do what we do now and get the word out for all our groups. So without further ado, let me get Ronny Dawson, and I'm hoping this is working. I had a little trouble getting on. Everything's slow, and Ronny Dawson of Texas, can you hear me?
I'm here. Teresa, appreciate it. It's good to be here.
Awesome.
I'm glad to be live from Ranger, Texas.
Yeah. Can you tell people a little about your history, please? Normally in radio, people like to know who we are and what we're about. And I'm a woman, 68, and you're a man. I don't know if you want to tell your age, but we're both Americans, and the world's watching us and listening to every word that everyone is saying. It's been recorded here, but tell people a little about who you are and then how you wound up coming into radio, if you don't mind.
Yeah, okay. I'm Ronny Dawson. I'm actually just an old truck driver who became a UFO experiencer, and then after I experienced the UFOs, a little bit later they made a contact. So then I became an alien contactee, and then they showed me. I asked them where they came from, and they showed me. So then I became an interdimensional traveler because they let me go through their Stargate and see their world. So I went from being just a regular Joe truck driver to a guy who's seen and experienced some things that there's almost nobody has experienced this kind of stuff at all. So my story became very popular, and I made the news over in the UK. I had a Japanese film crew come and interview me at my home here in Texas, and they did a 15-minute segment on caught on camera that aired on Japanese TV. And I've been on NBC on the First Look show with Johnny Bananas. I've been to Roswell UFO Festival, and got a book on Barnes and Noble. So I've kind of been out there, and I've probably done, I don't know, maybe I want to say about 30 radio shows, podcasts, and stuff. I've been on, so I'm kind of the new guy in the UFO field. My experience didn't occur till about 2009, so it's one of the later experiences out there, and it's just now getting some attention. And I kind of got thrown into, from a truck driver, I kind of got thrown into the field of ufology as well, because once you've had an experience, people know that they can talk to you with, and you'll have an open mind and hearing what happened to them as well. So I kind of got drug off into this thing, even though I wasn't wanting to. But I've come across some amazing stuff since I had my experience, and some of these guys, have told me these stories, and I've just told them what happened to me, and I understand where they come from, and I know how hard it is to prove. I know how hard it is to catch a decent picture of a UFO. So I went through some of these problems as well as they did. And,
well, thank you for helping other people with their stories and being a good listener. And, emotional intelligence, folks, has a lot to do with us supporting each other in whatever time we're going through. This isn't easy times. We have the ARACOP group, and the reason I call it ARACOP is for education. It's an acronym for Educational Research Association, Community Online Press. But Ronny said he'd help us, and so I hope he's going to be one of our Ace Folklife researchers. And we'll put the stories in Ace Folklife. But if you've had an experience with alien related, we can put you in our Alien Contact Organization, which is ACO, and we have American Communications Online, and we have UFO Association for our ufologists. So what I've done is I've created different groups for different people, and Ronny is on Facebook and doing social media like everybody else, I guess, so you can talk to other people. And Ronny is stepping forward, and people, you have to show up, and it's hard to claim your story. I'm an alien contactee, and I have been, I guess, since I've been born, but I've got a bunch of stories, and I've got a lot of books out there, and so I've made this authors club. Now, Ronny, your story, we've got several here. As far as I can tell, this is your fourth one in a series. I've got episode 4. Is that how you've done 3 shows before? Is this your 4th time? Because I was looking for your name in my archives. As far as you know.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is a 4th show. Yeah.
Great. Well, good. You're winding up, putting all together. Back somebody if you want to write a story, or if Ronny, all the stories. Once we're talk show live, folks, and I help people that come to me and say they'll help me with my business. So Ronny and I are reciprocating, and I don't know which. I haven't really asked him how many of these groups he wants to be in, but I've definitely got him in Alien Contact Org. But right now, I'm using acronym ACIR Radio, but we're on TJ Marsh ET Radio, and it's confusing, so I'm trying to get everything on TeresaJMorris.com, where I run my business. And so I've got TJ Marsh Agency, which is an operating account, and my agency, I can list my people that want to help in different groups. So if you're interested in helping us, I'm hopefully going to get Ronny Dawson's name out there enough that it doesn't matter whether we're at an event or online, people start knowing his name with some of these groups, and then he can help me. Well, if you're a ufologist studying the hardware and the equipment coming, then we'll put you in, UFO Association. If you're a supporter of us and the way we believe with alien contact, we'll put you as contactee in that group. And I don't want to make a whole bunch anymore because I used to make so many. It took me a lot of money to run them, 75 names. So I've got them down to about 39 domains. But if you want your own, let Ronny know or me, and we'll make your website because that's what I do. I'm a guide with tech, but I'm also a guide for people working in metaphysics. Now, Ronny, would you consider yourself, you're just like me. We just got started here in the bodily form. But do you believe that you are something more than that now? Because people call us alien hybrids or walk-ins, but I believe we're all souls or spirits or from other places. And I've noticed a lot of people on the internet are going to where they're like, wait, we don't know the whole story, especially since the Matrix, since the 90s. Now people the kids realize they're from somewhere else, or their energy is, and they're just down here in a human form. But do you agree with that theology? We're armchair philosophers, basically, trying to figure all this out.
Yeah.
But how do you say? Do you? Because you can't be just a victim of things happening. So, we got all these people. I want them to come forth and make us where we're more. A movement of people realizing they're, spirits or ET or whatever, universal beings down here. We're sentient, intelligent beings, and there's all colors out there in space and all kinds. But if we're still alive, that means something hadn't got us yet. But I don't know, Ronny, I just need your help. But I'm going to put you, as long as you want to show up, Saturday's working out for you, right, in radio?
Well, yeah, I'm about out of information, about out of stuff to share now. I think it's gonna wipe me out this week, and I've got some other stuff going on. I need to I've got some research projects I need to get back off into on my Saturdays. So I need to, and some of this we're going to talk about today. But to be quite honest with you, man, I was one of those guys. I hear all these people talking about the spirituality and the meditation and stuff like that, and to be quite honest, I thought you guys were nuts. Oh, man. These guys,
well, that's okay.
You're going to ask for projection? Yeah, right. You're nuts. Yeah, I don't know where you get your weed. But
you didn't know what it is. Yeah, because you hadn't experienced it, right? So you had no clue.
Right.
Have you experienced? Okay, go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Keep going. I'm on mute.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
These people are crazy, really. They are nuts. Until I had my encounter, and then when I had my encounter and I seen the ET pull me out of they pulled my living essence out of my sleeping body for a conversation, and I stood right there with them and seen all the activity going on around my house, my wife walking through the room while I was sitting here talking to these ET, and I realized that there's a whole lot more to life and a human being than I had thought there was. And I had to find out the hard way, and I found out, and it was a really mind-opening experience for me. But it makes perfect sense. The ET that came visit me, they bring enough of their physical essence to do what they want to do. But it's like when you go on a vacation, you don't take your whole everything you own. You just take what you need for the trip. And that's kind of what these guys do. They don't take their 100% their physical form and everything. They bring enough of their material assets that they can do whatever they need to do. And they can walk through walls, and they could solid matter. They can move through solid matter like it's. I mean, they struggle through it. Really, they don't just easily walk through it. But it protects them against physical violence and viral harm and bacterial harm and harm from accidents and stuff like that. So. And it was it was a really mind-opening experience that you could even do that. And we don't even have the concept of even being able to do something like this. And the fact that they traveled from another